Hi, this is subunit 3.1, role of observation activity. The first question says to describe Montessori's observation of children with mental and emotional problems. Italian physician Maria Montessori discovered that children with mental and emotional problems, while they had some developmental delays, they responded well to being stimulated and being put in environments that they could learn and achieve different things from. She discovered that they were starved from wanting to work with materials, and that's where Maria Montessori really discovered that given the right tools and given the right materials, the children were able to achieve intellect cognitively, because of their opportunities with being able to work with different things in order to expand their knowledge on what they could do and what they were permitted to do. She observed different ideas that would change how young children were educated. She was able to determine and to prove that children would interact with the materials that they were most interested in. So given the opportunity to work in a classroom or be in a classroom with all sorts of materials and toys and activities, the children would gravitate towards whatever they found that was interesting, and they would work there as long as they wanted to, or as little time as they wanted to. But they would be essentially teaching themselves based on what the activity was that they were doing. So there are some benefits to the Montessori methodology. Montessori schools focus on establishing and maintaining a specially prepared environment in which the child is really allowed to teach themselves. Some limitations, people might say that the educational curriculum is a little bit too freeform, and the mixed age classrooms could hinder what students are really capable of doing because the ages are not working cohesively together. But as far as the positives behind the Montessori education, there's lots of benefits behind the child-centered approach to learning. It says describe what Montessori learned while observing children using the sensory materials she designed. So the sensory materials that Maria Montessori designed really allowed the child to explore in different learning methods that really allowed the child to tap into all their senses when it came to how they were inputting information. So there was the example with the sandpaper letters. So the child would learn what the letter sounded like and how it was shaped, and they could feel the difference between the material and the paper in order to make that distinction. The materials the children are able to choose freely, so that allows themselves to learn on their own an important skill or a piece of knowledge because they have that freedom to choose what they want to play with on their own. Because of those observations, the way that Montessori taught reading was not the way that it's necessarily traditionally taught now. Reading and writing was taught with the introduction to children to preschool children to start their pre-handwriting. They were children are introduced into a sequence of a structured sequence of materials. So it breaks down the complex skill of writing into manageable components, and then they're introduced to writing instruments, and they're introduced to sounds, letter sounds, and being able to draw alphabet symbols and things like that. And those add up to being able to eventually read and write. And some examples of sensory learning during observations. There are opportunities for sensory experiences everywhere you look in a preschool classroom, be it they're writing or drawing, maybe they're tracing lines on paper or tracing lines with paintbrushes, manipulating Play-Doh, fine-tuning that fine motor grasp by just tearing bits of paper so that their hand motions are starting to get more refined. There's lots of different ways that children are using their sensory experiences when it comes to learning in school.